Did you know DK Metcalf leads the league in a stat no player wants? Unnecessary roughness penalties. And now it's cost him and the Seahawks big time. What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we re-breaking down a story that is rocking the NFL world, the suspension of Seattle Seahawks star wide receiver, DK Metcalf. With just 2 games left in the regular season and playoff hopes hanging by a thread, this news couldn't have come at a worse time. So what exactly happened? Why was Metcalf suspended? And what does this mean for Seattle's postseason dreams? Let's get into it. The official word from the league is that Metcalf has been suspended for 2 games without pay due to an accumulation of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties throughout the season. The final straw was the incident in last week's game against the Rams, where he got into a heated altercation with cornerback Jalen Ramsey after a play. The refs threw the flag, and that was his 5th unnecessary roughness penalty of the year, more than any other player in the NFL. Now, this isn't just about one single moment. The league statement cited a pattern of behavior that is not in line with the standards of sportsmanship expected of an NFL player. This suspension is a direct message not just to DK, but to the entire league that they're cracking down on this kind of on-field conduct. For the Seahawks, the impact is immediate and devastating. They're in a tight race for the final NFC wildcard spot. Losing their #1 receiver, a guy who can change the game with a single deep ball, is a massive blow. He's their primary red zone target, their big play threat, and the player defenses have to game plan around. Without him on the field, the entire offense has to adapt. Tyler Lockett will see more double coverage, and rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba will be forced to step into a much larger role. The question on every fan's mind is, can Geno Smith and the offense generate enough points without their most explosive weapon? Their playoff chances, which were already on thin ice, just got a whole lot slimmer. This suspension really feels like the culmination of a season-long narrative for DK Metcalf. Let's rewind a bit. From week 1, it was clear that Metcalf was playing with a fiery intensity, but that fire often spilled over into costly penalties. There was the shoving match against the Lions in week 2, the taunting penalty against the Bengals, and the skirmish with the 4-9ers secondary. Each incident on its own might seem minor, just a player being competitive. But when you string them all together, a troubling pattern emerges. Head coach Pete Carroll has been asked about DK's on-field discipline in press conferences almost weekly. He's consistently defended his star player, often saying things like, "We love his passion," or "We just need to help him channel it the right way." But behind the scenes, you have to wonder how many conversations were had. The coaching staff and even senior players like Geno Smith and Tyler Lockett have likely talked to him about towing the line. The problem is that line kept getting crossed. The altercation with Jalen Ramsey wasn't even the most egregious of the season, but it was the one that broke the camel's back. The league's disciplinary committee doesn't just look at one play, they look at the entire rap sheet. And DK's was getting long. It's a classic case of a player's greatest strength, his competitive fire, also becoming his biggest weakness. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, which makes him the dominant force we love to watch. But that same chip has now forced him to watch his team fight for their playoff lives from the sidelines. The moment the suspension news dropped from insiders like Adam Schefter and Ian Rapoport, social media absolutely exploded. The reaction was split right down the middle, creating a massive debate among fans and analysts. On one side, you had a huge portion of the 12s, the Seahawks faithful, crying foul. The sentiment was that the NFL is going soft, that they're trying to legislate emotion out of the game. Phrases like, "let them play," and "the league has it out for DK" were everywhere. Many pointed to other players who have had similar or worse altercations and received only fines, not suspensions. They see it as the league making an example out of one of their favorite players at the most critical point of the season. Then you have the other side. This group, which includes fans of other teams but also a good number of Seahawks fans, said this was long overdue. They argued that DK's repeated lack of discipline was hurting the team more than helping it. The penalties were stalling drives, giving opponents free yardage, and setting a bad example. For them, this suspension wasn't a surprise, but an inevitability. They believe it might be the wake-up call Metcalf needs to finally mature and learn to control his emotions on the field. Teammates have been publicly supportive. Geno Smith said, "We've got his back, he's our brother," but also added, "We all have to be smarter." That pretty much sums up the internal feeling. They love the player, but they need him to be available. national analysts are largely siding with the league's decision, emphasizing that star players aren't above the rules and that a pattern of unsportsmanlike conduct has to have consequences. It's a tough pill to swallow for Seattle, but from a league perspective, it's about maintaining a certain standard of on-field behavior. So, to wrap it all up, DK Metcalf is out for the final 2 most important games of the regular season because of a series of on-field penalties. This is a massive blow to the Seahawks' offense and seriously jeopardizes their chances of making the playoffs. It's the result of a season where his incredible passion repeatedly boiled over into costly mistakes. Hopefully, this serves as a turning point for DK, helping him find that balance between intensity and discipline, so he can dominate for years to come without hurting his team. What do you guys think? Was the suspension fair, or did the NFL go too far? Let me know your honest thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to see what makes DK so special when he is on the field, check out our previous video breaking down his most dominant plays of this season. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more NFL content. See you in the next one.